And the top story at the top of 10 a.m., the one name that has figured prominently in the Italian probe into the now tainted VVIP chopper deal is that of Guido Haschke. Switzerland-based Haschke is a middleman in the arms market who has been operating on India now for years. And Headlines Today has exclusive information now that Haschke did swing more deals for Finmeccanica within India. Headlines Today has accessed the audit report of Finmeccanica and it reveals the firm's deep ties with the chopper deal's kingpin. The audit report shows that Haschke was out scouting at least 6 other deals for Finmeccanica within India. The first agreement between Haschke and Finmeccanica was entered way back in 2005. The report says that Haschke was scouting for the sale of civilian helicopters in India between the year 2005 and 2007, for which he entered into 3 agreements with AgustaWestland and for which he was paid a total fee of 400,000 euros. Now, Finmeccanica's relationship with Haschke has been put on record in that audit report that we have accessed, that has been signed by its fallen CEO, but it only has hazy details that could be the tip of this huge iceberg that we're talking about. This, however, is proof that Guido Haschke has been very active in India for many years, swinging deals as the government looked the other way. Headlines Today has now put the proof out. The big question is, will the government act now?
The possibility of this being the case cannot be denied at all, especially if one goes by the remark of former Premier of Italy, Mr. Berlusconi, who defended bribery, especially, he said, when it comes to negotiating with the third world countries. I must point out that Mr. Orsi, the former CEO of Finmeccanica, who's being interrogated in this case, it was appointed during the time of Mr. Berlusconi. But having said that, I should say that this remark drew a lot of criticism from the magistrates and the center left-wing politicians in Italy. They said this is very serious and totally unacceptable.
Our correspondent Lavina Tandon there reporting from Milan, the epicenter of this entire controversy. Now, moving on, out of the 3,546 crore rupees that we're talking about, the deal for the 12 AgustaWestland choppers, an astonishing 366 crores was set aside just for kickbacks. This included bribe to Indian government and the Italian government officials. Just how was this money funneled into India? How did the middlemen, including Haschke, route the money through front companies? Our deputy editor Shivaru decodes this money trail just for you.
Investigations in Italy for many months now have been trying to chart out and pinpoint the huge web of payments that have actually emerged from Italy and entered India surrounding the VVIP helicopter deal that was concluded between both countries on the 8th of February 2010. 3,546 crore is the total deal value. That's the deal that India signed with Finmeccanica on the 8th of February 2010, and that is the value for 12 helicopters, 3 of which have already been delivered. Now, according to the investigation documents that we've got in our hands, here on Headlines Today, we're charting out the entire flow chart to give you a sense of just where all that money has gone, at least according to the Italian investigators. 366 crore is the amount that Finmeccanica apparently earmarked and paid simply for kickbacks and commissions to influence and manipulate this particular deal. 216 crore, huge amount, was paid to a UK-based agent called Christian Michel, and there is reason to believe, at least Italian investigators believe, that this money may have been routed back into Italy for some kind of political purpose, maybe to fund some political parties there, but it gets a little fuzzy as far as where that money actually went. The more interesting part is this figure of 150 crore, which was actually paid to 2 dramatis personae in this entire saga, the agents who were hired by AgustaWestland, Guido Haschke and Carlo Gerosa, both Swiss nationals, both agents who were on the payrolls of Finmeccanica. 150 crores, obviously in euro currency, were paid to them. Interesting look of where that money went right now. It was sluiced into 2 companies, IDS Tunisia and then IDS India, before it was actually transferred into the hands, according to these documents and according to testimony by this individual, Guido Haschke, into the hands of the Tyagi brothers, who, as you know, are related to a former Air Chief Marshal SP Tyagi. Now the figure as provided by Guido Hashke, who's on the payrolls of AgustaWestland, is that 86 crore rupees went into the pockets of the Tyagis. But we have no proof, and there is no proof in the investigation so far that the money actually reached them. There is only testimony in these documents to suggest that 72 lakh rupees, again in euro currency, was paid to the Tyagi brothers in cash. The more mysterious payment, of course, pertains to a company called Aeromatrix, and we've been first here on Headlines today to question the CEO and other members of the company. They've admitted to us right here on this channel, that their client, AgustaWestland, has given them business of 8 crore in the recent past. But there is absolutely no connection, yet established, and perhaps never will be, between this amount and the 150 crore that Finmechanica put into the hands of its two agents. Remember, Hashke and Gerosa happen to be directors on the board of Aeromatrix, which is based out of Chandigarh. So what you've got here is perhaps just a preliminary, very basic overview of where all that money actually went once the deal was signed, and to actually influence the deal AgustaWestland's way in Italy.
And our correspondent Lavina Tandon, who has been reporting for Headlines today from Milan, tells us more about Finmechanica's India link.
I have been trying to get a response from Finmechanico, but not a word from them. In fact, they have not even replied to my email, and no politician is ready to talk on this matter, neither from the opposition or the one in power. Very sensitive issue indeed, especially when the general elections are just round the corner. But the company Finmechanico is standing by Mr. Orsi, the ex-CEO of the company, who's being interrogated in this matter at this point in time. The company has also set out a message after the board of directors meeting that everything is operating normally in Finmechanico, but after India is holding back on the deal till this entire case of bribery is clarified, this should not go very well with Finmechanico, especially after they saw their shares going down drastically after this news hit the headlines.